What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Kuroyuki ESO, and today I have yet another video for you to enjoy or despise, however it is you feel about my videos. Now, I don't know if you've taken a peek at the patch notes for the next patch, the proposed changes, but Templar is apparently going to be in a bit of a rough place compared to where they currently are. Before Greymoor came out, I did kind of vow to take a step away from playing Templar, since up to this point, my two main classes have been Mag and Stamplar, and that was my plan, but hearing that they might be dead next patch, I decided to go ahead and try to enjoy them this patch for as long as I could. And to that effect, I have created a Stamplar build that works pretty damn good, as well as working on a Magplar build, which will come out at some point, but for now, I got a Stamplar build. I've got some gameplay clips, some 1vx fights, some good stuff for you. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take a peek at the Stamplar build that I've been running for the past couple of days. Now, fully buffing up here, well, mostly buffing up, our resistances are pretty solid, being about 30k of each, and our rune on our back bar, 3,300 crit resist. We've got 1,700 stam recovery with 1,600 health recovery, 24.5k HP, 29k stam, and then 4 something weapon damage. Oh, damn it. 4969 weapon damage. This will be 5k if you have your jewelry gold. Mine is not currently gold, so it's just a little bit under 5k on the back bar. Now when we go to the front bar, go ahead and rebuff here. Weapon damage on our front bar is 5.3k. We will have 40% crit rate on our front bar and our back bar when we activate our jabs. And the resistances do go down a little bit since we're no longer on the defensive bar, but other than that, everything's looking pretty good. This is an Imperial, not an Imperial, I just lied to you. This is a Nord, to be a little more bulky. And I am using the Artaeum Takeaway Broth food, as well as the Serpent Mundus Stone. So that is it for the stats. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. Now, front bar, you can use this. There's a lot of options here for the front bar. I am using a Black Rose Perfected Maul, just because I have this, and I just wanted to throw something on the front bar to give me a little bit more damage, due to the way that I'm running these sets. So I've got the Nirnhoned Maul with a weapon damage enchant. The 2-piece bonus for this is useless, because we're not using Dizzying Swing, but we do like that physical penetration just for extra damage when we are on our damage bar. So that's why I'm using it. You could use something that gives weapon damage, something that gives weapon crit, you know, whatever you want to do. You could even make room for Malakath on this build by scooting some things around if that is a choice you wanted to make. I will not make that choice though. Back bar, I do have 2 pieces of 7th Legion here. I have a Nirnhoned one-handed and an impenetrable shield. I would rather have a sturdy shield, and I would rather have a defending weapon, but this is still traded for last patch and the patches before that when this kind of stuff worked, but it's a little less useful now. So that is what I would recommend for your traits. And then I do have double dot poisons. Now, real quickly, in case you aren't aware of what 7th Legion does, let's take a look. It gives us weapon damage and health recovery across both bars. And then when we are on the back bar here, we get the weapon critical, which isn't that important. And then we get the 5-piece, which is whenever you cast a armor ability, an ability that gives you physical or spell resistance, you gain 350 health recovery and weapon damage. This lasts for 10 seconds on a 10-second cooldown. That means that whenever we go to our back bar to buff up, we get a big boost in damage and a nice big boost to our health recovery. So altogether this set is giving us about 500 health recovery. That's where some of that health recovery pool is coming from. Troll King. This synergizes really well with our Artaeum food, which gives health recovery, as well as our 7th Legion, which gives health recovery. So that's why we have 1,600 health recovery standing, and then this will push us over 3k after all of our modifiers are added when we go down to low health, so this is very good at keeping us in a fight for a little bit longer, because this is not a very tanky build. So then I do have a 7th Legion chest here. All of my armor is N-pin, mostly because I don't have anything else for it. I would rather have some well-fitted, I think, but, you know, traits are really up to you. All N-pin does work, if that is what you would like to do. And then I do have 5-piece New Moon Acolyte to push the big yamage. Gives us crit, weapon damage, pen, crit, and then increases the cost of our abilities. Now, this is a little bit more detrimental this patch than it was last patch on some classes, I feel. Mostly the classes that don't have major mending, because you do end up overhealing a little bit, you know? Not necessarily overhealing, you're just trying so hard to heal, because it can be a little rough. So, if you wanted to, say, go Imperial to reduce the cost of your abilities a little further, to make yourself feel a little more comfortable using something like this, it's definitely an option. Imperial is the second race that I would go with for this build, and then Orc. So in the order of how I think they are good, I do Nord, Imperial, Orc in that order. So yeah, this is a 5 medium, 2 heavy build. The way I have it set up is a little bit weird, just based on the pieces that I had. I do have 2 7th Legion armor, the legs and the chest, and then I have 1 jewelry, and then I have 2 crafted New Moon jewelry, everything infused with weapon damage. The best way to do this would be to do 7th Legion on all of your jewelry, if you have that option, and then have a heavy chest of New Moon, and then a sash of New Moon, so that way you can get your 511 without sacrificing any resistances. It's the best way to maximize resistances while still getting your 511. So that will do it for the armor sets. Gonna go ahead and take a look at the skills. We'll start on the front bar. We do have Rally. This gives us our weapon damage boost, a boost to our stamina recovery, and a nice burst heal when we need it. Power of the Light. Now this is one of the things that's being changed next patch, and by changed I mean finger quotes fixed. Basically next patch, if the PTS is to be believed, and if it stays the way it is now, this does absolutely no damage. In its current state though, it does a shit ton. So for now, definitely use this. You put this on somebody, you slap them around a lot, and then it goes boom and it ends their life. It is phenomenal. It absolutely deletes people. Use this. Then we do have Binding Javelin. This is our stun. It hits respectably hard, it's ranged, and it procs the Burning Light passive, which if you're unfamiliar with it, if you're a newbie Templar, when you deal damage with an Adric Spear ability, you have a 25% chance to deal an additional 58-20 physical. This will go up when we have our weapon damage buffed, but you know, it's a little low right now. But yeah, so every time that you throw your javelin at somebody, there's a 25% chance to proc this, basically doubling the damage of the javelin. Both of them can crit independently, so you could just kind of peel someone's hairline back with just a javelin. This is actually one of the things that's also being changed next patch. I don't really feel like explaining it because it's a little wordy, but basically it's not going to work on Javelin. It's going to suck. Then we do have Executioner. I do recommend Executioner over Reverse Slice just because the extra 100% potential damage is very, very helpful. You can take people from 49% HP to dead with a single heavy attack Executioner sometimes, and it can really surprise you. Then Biting Jabs. This is yet another Adric Spear ability, so it can proc our Burning Light, as well as this being our main primary stun. Does a shit ton of damage, slows people down, it's AoE, and it gives us our crit buff whenever we use it. As well as proccing this passive here. Gain minor protection for 6 seconds, reducing damage taken by 8% whenever you activate an Adric Spear ability. So that counts for Biting Jabs and Binding Javelin. So that means when we are on our offensive bar, we are still decently beefy. And then my choice for front bar ultimate is Dawnbreaker of Smiting. When we are fully buffed with Continuous and a weapon damage glyph, this thing's about 20k damage. Sitting right now with just Rally and our 7th Legion, it goes to about 18k, which is plenty this patch. Strong direct damage, strong dot, stun, AoE, very, very helpful for solo play. And I would not use anything else, but if you do want to use something else, your options are Onslaught. This is great for single target pressure, as well as group pressure, because it gives you 100% penetration to everyone you hit, which is pretty strong if you can reliably hit all of those people, but the initial hit is not as hard as Dawnbreaker, and its AoE is a little bit different, and it is targeted, so it has to actually connect with the person, so it's not as consistent as Dawnbreaker, which is already not consistent at all, because of the way the game works. It's broken. And then the other option you have is the morph of this, the Empowering Sweep. It's terrible. Don't use it. Never use it. It's awful. Worst ultimate in the game. But some people will lead you to believe otherwise. So, it's an option, I guess. Now back bar, we have Resolving Vigor. This is our main heal. Go ahead and buff up just so you can see what the healing on that looks like. Whoops. This is a 22k over 4 seconds tooltip, and we are buffed with our minor mending and our weapon damage. This will go up by an additional 20% when you are near an alliance resource or any kind of objective, making this about a 25k tooltip. It's decent, definitely not enough this patch, if that was all we were using for healing, but we do have that health recovery, and that definitely does help when we have rally, so healing is pretty decent. Then we do have Shuffle. This gives us our AoE damage mitigation through Major Evasion for 20 seconds. And it also gives us immunity to snares and immobilizations for 5 seconds, because we have 5 pieces of medium armor. Restoring Focus, this is our armor buff as well as a strong stamina recovery tool, and it also gives us a little bit of extra mitigation while we stand inside the rune. So if you're taking a lot of pressure, sometimes just turtling up, dropping a rune, standing in it, and throwing up a not a Dawnbreaker, but a Vigor, can really help you stay alive. And then we do have Extended Ritual. Do not, under any circumstances, use the other morph. Do not use Ritual of Retribution. I've seen so many Templars this patch using that god-awful morph. If you use that morph, you're playing Templar wrong. Do not use it. This is the only one you should ever use. This gets rid of 5 harmful effects instead of 2. So 5 dots, defiles, armor debuffs, all that. It also has a very strong heal over time component to it to stack with everything else we have. That being 3.3k every 2 seconds. And in this meta, where healing is kind of non-existent, it's nice to stack as much as possible. And it also gives us a nice Purify synergy for our comrades if we are in group play. And you just need this. Anyone that's doing the damage one is doing it so wrong, guys. Don't do it. I know you're out there. I know someone watching this is thinking, oh, just use the other one. Don't fucking do it, okay? And then we do have Channeled Acceleration. This is our movement speed buff. It lasts for 12 seconds, so it's pretty good uptime. It also gives us a critical damage boost. So, more damage on the Templar. That already naturally has a nice critical damage multiplier built in. So the reason that I use this with this is because, one, I like to get movement speed on demand. Some people would say, just use Elude. You're a Templar, you can cleanse snares. And that is true. That is definitely an option. If you want to do it that way, you can use Elude to get movement speed when people attack you with AoEs, and then you can have a free slot to use whatever else you want, like a Ransack or such. But I don't like that. I like to be able to get my movement speed when I want it. So I like to use this, and then having Shuffle to give us that immunity to snares and immobilizations for 5 seconds means that we can cast this and pretty much be scot-free to just run around as much as we want by using this. It really keeps us as mobile as we could possibly want to be, and I would not have it any other way. Mobility is so important, especially with this low healing meta when you just need to kite and get your heals behind some walls. And then for back bar ultimate, I'm using Temporal Guard. Some people look at Temporal Guard and say, well, you don't need that because you get minor protection through class passives. That's an option. You know, that's true. It's not wrong. But sometimes it's really hard to get onto the front bar and cast jabs just for the defense. So this will always give you your minor protection on the back bar, as well as the actual use of the ultimate itself, which sends you back in time, gives you back stam, mag, and health if you had it then. You could also fuck yourself over and travel back in time to a point where you had 200 HP and die. I've done it before. But it can definitely be helpful for getting out of situations you don't want to be in. The other morph could be used if you are one of those people that believes that you don't need the extra minor protection buff. That one can be used when you are stunned. It can be really helpful, get you out of some bad situations. If you want, you could also change this. Options for that would definitely be Spell Wall from the Sword and Board tree. I don't have it unlocked right now because I don't have the skill points. I've got a lot of shit in a lot of places, okay? That gives you 100% block time for, like, I think 8 seconds when it's fully leveled, as well as reflects projectiles, so it's really good to use for repositioning, especially in open field. Makes you extremely tanky for a few seconds. You can get off heavy attacks, you can traverse an open field pretty easily. It's just really good, a really good tool for survivability. You could also use Remembrance. Now this is a ridiculously powerful heal. Buffed up, it's about 12k every second for 4 seconds, so damn near 50k heal over 4 seconds. And you also get major protection for 30 seconds, which is for 10 seconds, I'm sorry. 30 seconds would be broken. 10 seconds, basically 10 seconds of do not die. You can cast this and then immediately cancel the animation if you just want to get the major protection and be tanky. You could let the whole heal play out and then get the extra 6 seconds of protection afterwards. It's whatever you want to do. Very good survivability tool. Good for healing your group as well if you're in a group. So yeah, another great option. And the last option will be Solar Prison. This is good for group play, more so specifically when you have a Harmony Bomber in your group, because when they Harmony Bomb with this synergy, it absolutely destroys people. I've seen people hit 27k crits with this, and it's gross. It also does respectable damage and reduces the enemy's damage by 30% when they're in the area, so it's a good survivability tool as well for your group, but it does cost an arm and a leg, so yeah. So that is it for the skills. Before we hop into CP, I just want to take a quick look at the potions that I'm using. And that is simple. Detection pots, always detection pots. And tripods on the Stamplar, because I feel like sustaining that mag pool is very important, because Purify is integral to the Stamplar playstyle. Now with that out of the way, go ahead and look at the CP. Just going to do this quick, only touching on key points. 56 Ironclad, 15 Medium Armor Focus, 21 Resistant, 34 Thick Skin, because dots do hurt this patch, and even though you can cleanse, you won't always get them, so being able to mitigate them and heal through them more effectively is very helpful. 32 Ellie, and 56 Hardened. Now Templar does naturally have more spell resistance, so that's why I have these and these, just to mitigate more of the stamina based pressure we will be facing, because we do have nice mitigation to magic based sources through class passives. And then 56 health recovery to pump up healing, 1 siphoner to give cleansers a little bit more to cleanse, 56 Warlord, 64 Mooncalf, 38 Tenacity, and 32 into Healthy, just to really pump up that health recovery pool again, since that is one of our primary means of survival on this build. 56 Tumbling, 23 Warlord. Now you can move these around however you want, depending on your preference for defense. On this build, I prefer to roll, which is why I think I would like to put some Well Fitted on the build, but you can put some into Shadow Ward if you just want to turtle up. You can do whatever you want. I prefer to have more into Tumbling, personally. And I have 43 into Blessed, again, just to beef up the healing as much as possible. 81 Master at Arms, to make our jabs hurt really bad, and make our Dawnbreaker hurt really bad, to make our Power of the Light hit really bad. Nothing in Thumb, Precise Strikes 40, Piercing 50. This is the best way to get free damage, so definitely like to invest in Piercing. and then Mighty is 56. Now that is all of the CP. And with that, the build is complete. That is everything you need to know about the build. If you have any questions about it or anything like that, you can go ahead and direct your concerns to the comments, and I will talk to you there. I do read every comment that I get. I usually try to reply to any questions as well. And yeah, build's all said and done. So without further ado, we're going to hop on over into the clips that I prepared for you guys, and I'll talk about them a little bit. I'll give you some commentary over them, just kind of talk about my thought process, maybe crack a joke here or there, and just try to entertain you guys a little bit with some good gameplay. So, yeah, see you over there in just a second. Alright, so the first clip is right here outside of Nickel, and it's not an exceptionally impressive clip. I don't get too many kills here, but I do just like this clip because it highlights how useful moving around your terrain can be. Like right there, you saw that guy try to follow me up on top of this rock. He moved just a little bit too fast, and he fell all the way down that cliff. Now I have some friendly players here, so I just cycle some heavy attacks on them to get stand back while I figure out what I'm going to do with all these blues. I see a couple guys over here, so I just kind of try to antagonize them, poke them a little bit to get them to come fight me, but I don't want to fight over there by the guards because that could be a bit annoying. I come over here because I do know there's at least one other yellow here, and I want to be able to help him if he needs it when this warden starts slapping me in my cheeks. I don't take too kindly to that, but I also don't want to fight them right here in the open field, so I come back over here to the rocks, jump on top, and right there I slip off. Didn't mean to do that, but it's okay. This is a really good little crevice. There are a lot of rocks. Every single rock in Cyrodiil is a copy, so there's a bunch of rocks like this one, and this one is really good because it has a lot of different elevations and different little corners and stuff you can jump on, and just really good to separate yourself from people and keep them on their toes. So I go ahead and power light this guy up. I jab around the corner so he gets poked as he comes around, then I drop the Dawnbreaker on his head into the execute, power light goes off, and he is done. So now it is just me and these two guys real quick. Now this Lavelle guy isn't attacking me, so I figure I might as well just go ahead and kill him, right? That's what anyone would do. So he is dead now. Dizzy Swing Warden here is still just going ham, and he's got a healer up there, and that's a little bit annoying. There's that friendly yellow I was talking about. That's the only time you're going to see him in the clip. Don't know what happens to him. But anyway, I continue trying to kill this warden. It's not going too well, because he does have about 40k HP or so. And he has a healer healing him, so it gets a little bit annoying because there's earth gores and all that. So I just keep my buffs up and keep trying to do my damage to him when the mag DK comes back, and I really don't want to be having to worry about mag DK dots. And then all of a sudden I get javelined off the cliff. Now that's fine, because we are pretty quick and we can get right back to where we were really fast. So I figure it's time to go ahead and take care of this healer because he's being a bit of a bitch. I missed the Dawnbreaker right there. If I actually landed that, I probably would have killed him really swiftly. But he does actually get away here in a second because I'm retarded and I completely forgot how this skill worked. I tried to break it, didn't work, and I got stunned. So yeah, I chase him, I try to do some more damage to him, but again, he is a healer, and then I'm also getting ass slapped by the warden once again, and I don't just want to stand there and take it. So yeah, healer gets away, so I'm just going to go back to my rocks with all these guys. Now I jump back on here, and this time I don't actually slip off, which is good, because this puts me higher than everyone else. They couldn't get up here, and it's just the DK. So I go ahead, and I proc the poison on the DK, power light him, jab him a little bit, hit him with a Dawnbreaker, and he decides to go flying off the edge to his death, which is perfectly fine to me. This guy takes a leap of faith to go res him, and I don't want that, so I decide to chase him down. Because of the way the animations worked, I didn't actually get the bash or the javelin off on him, but it's okay because it looks like he pussied out and decided not to go through with the res. Now he falls down and it's just me and this warden up on this rock, so again I have an elevation advantage on these guys because that guy cannot help his friend. So I'm just going to sit here and 1v1 this warden with no healer and no backup. Makes it really easy to go ahead and put him down. Hit him with the power of the light, get him with the pokes, stun him right before it goes off, execute, he's done. Then it's just me and the DK, who realizes pretty quickly here that fighting me is not in his best interest, so he tries to book it. He turns around a little bit, but that's just a front. He's totally afraid. He's going to try to get the hell out of here. But I hit him with the Dawnbreaker into the jabs. Dawnbreaker dot finishes him off, and that is the end of the first clip. So, clip number 2 starts off with one of the many beautiful loading screens of Serial. I just finished getting zerged down. I respawned here at this outpost and realized it's being sieged, go outside to take a look, and holy fuck, it is a lot of motherfuckers. So I just, pop my speed, keep some mobility up real quick. No one's really focusing on me, so I go to the back of the siege here just to see if I can pepper any weak targets. And none of these guys over here that are attacking me seem particularly tanky, so I do try to get some jabs in. Unfortunately, the Warden goes for the Major Protection ultimate there, and I start taking a little more pressure, so I decide to just back off and go behind these rocks. And these guys, naturally, as little girls, are too afraid to follow me behind the rock where I would have swiftly dispatched them. Very smart move on their part. So I go over here to the opposite siege line and just start engaging again on people on siege. This Magsorg has 30k HP, but doesn't actually do too well at defending himself, so he goes down. I almost kill that Stamplar there as well, or whatever that class was, I didn't pay attention. But he heals up, and now I've got 3 guys on me. They aren't doing the most damage, and the door just popped, so that means there are definitely going to be a lot more people going inside, so I don't need to be too careful because the guys out here fighting me now are probably the only guys that are going to be out here fighting me for a little bit. So I go ahead and get my buffs up, put a power of the light down on somebody, heavy attack into Dawnbreaker, drop the group onto their asses. Unfortunately, the guy that I had power of the light on did not get hit by it, so it kind of ruined the whole combo, so I decided to just kind of back up, get some distance here. And then this guy has only 20k HP, so I go ahead and end his existence really quickly. Not too much work there. I'm low on stam, so again, just going to kind of keep my distance. Now this stam necro is a little thirsty. He's a little upset at me from some things that happened earlier in the day, so I decide to just, again, work on keeping my distance by using my ultimate there to get away from the fight. I have a pot now, luckily, so I use that to get some resource back, block the Meteor, because I do not want to be stunned by that. I had stun immunity, so it would have been fine, but it still would have hurt. But anyway, I pop my speed, do my shuffle, get the hell out of there, just to see who would follow me over here to this battlement, which is a much better place to fight. It's only one guy right now, so, the quickest of the group usually dies first, unfortunately for Zerglings. Luckily for him, he is a Nightblade, so he just hid in stealth and left me to kill his sorcerer friend. I used the Dawnbreaker. ESO decided that I did not have enough ping points saved up to redeem on a Dawnbreaker hitting successfully, so that didn't work. So now I've got more people on me. Could have killed that guy, didn't because ESO hates me, it's fine. So I see the Nightblade, he's going to be the squishiest, so I power the light him from a distance, go in with the stun. That's why I like the ranged stun. You can hit them and then close the distance real quickly while they're on their ass, and they can't really do much. And now this guy is going to try to res his friend, dot him up with the poisons and the power of the light, hit him with the Dawnbreaker, and he's dead. This DK is lagging around, so it's giving me a little bit of breathing room. Decide I'm going to try to go ahead and kill her. And this guy is healing. Don't like that. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and focus on him when the DK starts rezzing. I also don't appreciate that. The Lobby is going to keep his distance, and he's using that godforsaken morph of the ritual. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but that healer in the first clip was also using it. So again, what did I say earlier? Don't ever fucking use it. It's awful. Stop it. All of you. Anyway, the Lobby decides to run, so it's just me and the DK. So you know how this is going to go. One-on-one, this DK that couldn't even beat me 3-on-1. Just a matter of time. So I'll just let you guys watch this as I poke her to death. So now the third and final clip I have for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for the quality. This was from my most recent live stream, and I'm still working on getting my stream quality better. I have ordered a capture card to link directly into my PC, so that way I should be able to consistently broadcast 1080p. But anyway, this was such a good clip that even though it's terrible quality, I did really want to put it in here. So I go into the sewers here from this little gate, and there's 4 people. There's a group here. They had already actually done this to me once at a completely different place, just 10 minutes prior. I don't know how they got here, but it's 4 people. I think 2 snipers, a mag blade, and a stam DK. So they tried to kill me off the rip there. Luckily, I am able to get away, get over here to this corner where I have really good survivability, and these 2 come around the corner, catch the fattest Dawnbreaker ever, and they both go down instantly. So now it's just me, the DK, and the other Nightblade. Don't know where the DK is. There might not actually even be a DK. It might be all Nightblades and I'm just losing my mind. Anyway, yeah, so 2 dead, 2 alive. I'm just going to wait for my detect pop because I'm assuming probably not going to hide, or they're not going to leave the area. When his Engine Guardian procs and he gets pulled out of stealth, get to finish him off real quick because he is alone, he's squishy, and he's afraid. Then I see this guy rezzing over here. He's already got 1 up. Try to stun him. There's an NPC in the way. I kind of lose my mind there, and the other 2 are back on their feet now. Poison procs on that guy, brings him real low. He pops Necro ult. That's what it was, Necro, not DK. So I, again, just try to keep my distance, hide behind the wall a little bit, make sure they're not going to res that 3rd guy, and I catch the leap, so I guess there is a DK. At this point, I don't even know what these people's classes are. Anyway, I'm just going to try to kind of tank through them. This guy is not healing himself, so I dot him up with the... So I put the power light on him, hit him with the Dawnbreaker, stab him to death over and over, retreat back to my little corner here while healing. Now I'm going to go in and get this guy, or I decide I want to get the Nightblade stealthing because he's a bigger target. I'm pretty sure he's sniping and I don't like that. He decides to hide in stealth, so I kill his friend instead right in front of him because he cannot do anything to stop me. And why not? Then out of nowhere, 2 blues show up. And again, there is a Nightblade, a Magblade, and a DK. So dots, Magblade ganking, very annoying, plus the sniper that's already on me. So I'm just going to undo to get away from them real quick, confuse them, get a little bit of distance, reapply my buffs, and make sure I'm all sorted. Come in here with a heavy attack, try to stun him. Then I catch the Fossilize, which is my least favorite thing in the game. So again, back to my corner, heals. I'm getting sniped, I'm getting ganked by the Magblade. I don't know what's going on, I'm freaking out, I'm losing my mind. Luckily, I managed to survive through that incoming burst. This guy runs away. I do have the Dawnbreaker ready, so it's time to go on the offense. I see this guy. He's a little bit too focused on being defensive himself. Hit him with the Power Light, Dawnbreaker, stab him to death, and then I realize I can just walk away because that Power Light will kill him, which it does, along with the poisons. So I reapply my buffs yet again, get my heals up, watch this guy to see what he's doing. Now it's just 2 Nightblades, the Magblade Ganker and the Stanblade Sniper. I see the Stanblade hiding over here, so I decide to just go ahead and poke him to death. He's going to try his best to roll away, and it does not work. This guy decides he wants to res, catches the Dawnbreaker in the face, and he doesn't make it out to see the light of day. And yeah, that's the end of the final clip. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, with that is the end of the video. Don't pay too much mind to this clip playing in the background. It's just kind of, it's whatever. Just some background gameplay for my little outro here. I just want to say thank you if you watched this far into the video. You are a real OG. So if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, a comment, maybe subscribing if you want to see stuff similar to this in the future. And we'll have more builds and other videos coming out pretty soon. And yeah, that is everything. Have a great day and enjoy watching me kill these blues.